Hello, my friends, my family, esteemed colleagues. Today I would like to shed a little bit light on not only politics, but what is actually happening. And it all, since I always talk about health, it all has to do with the brain manifestation, our reality. So again, going forward with understanding our body and our reality through a slightly different mean. We are always being told about our physicality as being a chemical composite, chemically influenced, working on chemistry. Well, this is how we tend to understand it. Of course, we see ourselves as a body, and this is our reality. And whatever surrounds us, we see it, we can feel it, we can touch it, so it is real to us. But the truth behind it is that actually none of it really exists. It is fiction. And your brain turns this fiction into reality. The truth behind this fiction is that everything is basically just energy in different frequencies, and then brain is meant to read those frequencies and reproduce them to show them to you as your reality. Many people are now afraid that World War III is going to start after the Whiteheads with Trump took out some Iranian high-ranking military, or you can call them terrorists. Well, this is not going to spur any war. This actually is helping to stop the war. We are being told always that we should remember our past so we do not repeat it. By doing so, we are actually forcing the brain to manifest, and it will manifest what you focus on. We are saying, well, Jewish people were saying, oh, never concentration camp ever will be allowed. Yeah, well, what was happening in Bosnia? They just closed their eyes. It's probably not because there are no Jews involved, right? Now they are yelling, oh, fascists will never come in power. Well, those who are yelling against fascism are behaving like fascists. Why? Because your brain is going to show you the reality the way you are focusing on. If you say, well, we have to watch World War II movies so we understand what happened and we don't repeat it. When you start focusing on war, this is what your brain is going to start manifesting. And the cabal, or the deep state you can call it now, they know very well how mind works. Who knows best is Catholic Church. I mean, they have been doing this since Roman Empire. They actually wrote books for us to learn, to take them as a truth, so then we can manifest events as they have planned for us. Bible is all manifestation. But we have stopped manifesting Bible in mid-90s, 1995, 6. And since that time, the World War III and the Armageddon that is predicted in the Bible is not happening because we simply do not manifest again. And here we have to actually thank those who made the mistake, because they are really, as information they have, they are really very, very stupid. Because if you know that your religion, Bible, is being used for manifestation in the way you want things to happen, and then you create a communism that abolishes religion, well, you are basically working against yourself. And Trump is right. These people are stupid. And this is what makes it possible for us to win this battle. So, how does this brain work? Well, now we have here again another suppressed scientist, Dr. Kesha, who is Iranian, but now works in China. Again, little conflict here because he has some great technology based on plasma, and he talks about plasma. Many say that he is the Messiah, that he is impersonation of God. Well, who say that they have no idea who God is and what God is. But nevertheless, some great technology is coming from him. But again, based on matter, based on plasma. And this is step up from where we are now, but it is not really the whole truth. Because we should go above the plasma. We will use plasma because it's, again, way easier and faster to manifest when you use plasma than starting from scratch. But the running mechanism of manifestation is the brain. The brain is the most sophisticated engine, instrument, equipment, whatever you want to call it, because the brain is what is needed to manifest, because it can reproduce all the frequencies that we need and all the frequencies that we are tuned to, that we are programmed with. But the way we are programmed is restrictive. And this was for purpose, because this way we can really, really learn. And we are learning through our experiences. Because as a spirit, we know everything because we created everything. But it is one thing of thinking about accident. And wow, it's terrible how these people must feel. They must be in a lot of pain. Well, they must feel, but you don't know until you had accident yourself. And you cannot have accident in your dream, in your spirit form. You cannot have it. You actually, to experience emotion, to experience pain, to experience the smell, the taste, everything that comes with material expression, you have to use your material body. And here we have our spirit, then we have the creation, first the brain, that then manifests everything else. And we have this body that, because of its physicality, now it can sense emotions. As a spirit, we cannot do it. So, if we just focused on that brain is basically like the computer with its programmed chip that gets one frequency and says, whoa, I know this is Apple. Well, now, as manifestation goes, this is something very important. Brain will always manifest what makes sense to it and what is having the strongest signal. And the signal is coming through our focus and repetition. Those two things. Everybody, I'm sure, had experienced that when you are focused on something during the day, and then you go to sleep, and then you dream about it. I know when I was playing intensively chess with my friends, at night, I would sleep and I would dream chess. When I had tests in a school, I would sleep and dream taking a test. Because it is on your mind. What's on your mind, your brain projects. Now we said, oh, well, it's a dream, it's different than reality. The only difference between dream and reality is your brain's calculation. And it calculated that if you went to bed and then in the morning you open your eyes and you're still in a bed, whatever happened in between must have been dream. And this is why it is dream. But some dreams could be extremely vivid and you even feel pain. Okay? So may very well at that point they are your reality. But only the brain tells you, no, it could not be a reality because you are in a bed. So it all depends on how your brain calculates it. It is calculator. It only can work with information it possesses. And it will show you, it will manifest what makes sense to it at a moment with all the information that it has at hand. And as it does its calculations, it does them without your mind involvement. Your mind jumps in occasionally, but it does it basically on the accumulated information. The mind, again, is the consciousness of your physicality, a consciousness of the brain, you can say, but it's not only the brain, it's also your cellular structure. So your mind is not over here, it's your whole body is your mind. And each cell is organism on its own that is connected with the other cells through a group consciousness, same like a flock of birds. One bird makes a move, they actually all make the move at the same time. It's not one and then they all follow. No, one starts but they all follow at the same time. The last one and the middle one, it all goes synchronized in the same time, at the same time. So this is how our cells work as well. They are synchronized and they have this consciousness which unites them. and it's your mind. This is when something is happening in your body. Let's say bacteria came in. Well, all your cells are aware of it. Why? They cannot all see it, they don't all feel it, but one cell felt it and shares with the mind, with the consciousness. Now the thing is, again, our mind, we say conscious and subconscious. Well, the subconscious mind is the innate. It is this consciousness. Conscious mind is our brain, our thoughts, which is basically separated from the subconsciousness. It cannot communicate with it. Why it can't? Because we are programmed this way, and during our life, starting from church, and then parents, because they are also misled, and then especially through schools, we are being told to separate ourselves, to not trust our feelings, our thoughts that come. We should only trust what we have been told. So there are some people who have this extra perception. I remember when my niece was talking to her girlfriend from school. She was, I would say, 9 years old, and she's talking to her and says, "Oh, I have the same hairspray as you do." I mean, you know, the kids in States, they use makeup and spray all this stuff very early in life. And her girlfriend freaked out because she is in a different place, in her bathroom, putting a hairspray on, and my niece, talking to her on the phone, told her, "Well, I'm using the same spray as you do," because she felt and she intuitively knew what was she doing and what spray she was using. How is this possible? Well, we are all connected, we are all one. But we have separate experiences, and through our miseducations, we are being further divided and separated from our spirit. And this is why we have no idea what is happening within our bodies, because we don't communicate. We can communicate, which I have shown with a video where I do dowsing or use pendulum. You can communicate with yourselves, your body will tell you, but your mind doesn't listen, it's too busy. We are not, when we hear voices, we think we are crazy, because nobody explains us what is happening, what's going on. So when we are occupied with some thought, most likely we are going to manifest it. Manifestation, we have to zero on. We have to focus on it. But also, if there are many repetitions, the signal becomes strong enough for brain to just manifest it. This is why when you hear a news on TV, for example, well, you will see it in all of the stations, because they are all controlled by the same people, and they know that when you hear something here, you want to verify it, so you will listen to ABC, NBC, CBN, you just go on, and it's the same news. So it's programming, bang, 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 bang. When Clinton was president, Bill, there was this attempt to put down World Trade Center with a bomb in a basement, in a parking lot. And it failed. But for months, they were talking on TV how plane, if it is like jumbo jet with good speed, if it rams it around 60th floor and whatever, it's going to bring the building down. I mean, it's a nonsense, but it was speculated and repeated on all the channels. Why? Because this was the brain programming, so when they actually do it, which happened under Bush, different president, but once when they do it, nobody had doubt that anything else but plane was involved, because we were programmed. Listen to this, look, this floor, this plane, bang, bang. It's all one after the other. It's a programming. Same when we are talking about diseases. You hear flu, virus. Oh, somebody sneezes. I don't want this virus. Well, right away, programming, bingo, you start reacting to it. He sneezed in my vicinity. Now I inhale it. Ooh, I'm gonna get sick. Bingo, you get sick. You manifest it. Okay. Flu is nothing more than cleansing of the blood. If the blood is quite toxic, you have these symptoms. I explained this many times. But we are told certain thing and we repeat it. You feel with a great pain and nurse comes and jabs you with distilled water, but you think it is some analgesic, and you go, okay, brain is going away, and pain diminishes or goes away. Why? It's your manifestation. It's your what we call placebo effect. It's all brain. The reality does not exist. The reality is basically just frequencies of energy. Reality is what your mind tells you and what your brain expresses as the driving engine. This is why do not be scared. There is not going to be Third World War. It's over with. The cabal is done. This is map up operation. And it's going to continue a little bit faster and faster. All these bad things are going to be dealt with, but the most important thing is that you understand, do not focus on these things. If you are afraid, do not watch the news. Do not read about it. Occupy your mind with something beautiful. So this will be manifesting. Stop watching movies that have terrorist attacks in them, that have a military nature. Occasionally I watch some old western from the 50s or even 40s, because they have nice stories and it's not really bloody. It's, quite harmless. But even this, we should focus on new things. We are changing our reality. We have to change the programming. And brain needs at least 79 hours to do this. 3 days. Which means you have to start doing things in a different way. Nothing will change unless you change. Don't wait somebody else to change. Don't take signs of protesting. Change it. Change it in your mind. See the world in a different light. See it the way how you would like to. Okay, you may say, well, what if you are evil? And then you see, evil cannot manifest. This is why you have been contracted to do the manifestation for the evil. Devil by itself doesn't exist. It can only be manifested through you, through a person. This is why all these crazy actors and performers, I would say Z level performers, which became very popular. Why? Because they are being promoted. And why? Because they signed their soul to devil. They accepted. They said, okay, I'll do bad deeds, just make me popular, give me money. And these people will suffer. You know, in one ayahuasca session, I have seen one person releasing these bad energies, and it is awful. So, once when you accept the bad things, it is very difficult to get rid of them. But yes, you can get rid of them. And fortunately, most people will succeed. It is all in the brain, and the base of it is a frequency, is idea. Don't look at it from the chemical way. Don't think that you have to do this and this in order to achieve that. What you want to achieve, focus on it, not how to get there. Because you have no clue how to get there. You only know what your brain knows. And your brain doesn't know much, and this is why it keeps you in the situation that you are in. You want to have Ferrari and you are poor? Well, don't think, well, I want Ferrari, so now I have to work. I have to learn something so I can then have better job that will bring me more money, or I have to go and steal money. Well, what do you want to do? Become scientist, become a thief, or do you want Ferrari? If you want Ferrari, think Ferrari. Visualize it, keep it in your mind. See every little screw. Smell Ferrari, go in a showroom, smell the car. More information you give to your brain, the easier it will be for your brain to manifest it. And it will find the way to do it. Much better than your brain can, because your brain knows nothing, knows only what is being programmed with. So things we have to learn how to live in this new world that we are creating. You want to be healthy. Don't think about diseases. Something hurts, you feel pain somewhere. Oh, maybe it's cancer. Oh, maybe it's rheumatism. No. Maybe it's healing. Maybe it's toxic release. Why don't you look at it this way? Why don't you put positivity in everything? And you will manifest completely different outcome. Your reality will change. The best way to help yourself with this is to consciously do things differently every day. Don't have the same routine. Release of the old energies is easier done through respiration. Through breath, you do your cleansing. Again, ayahuasca showed me this. And there are many techniques. Wim Hof technique I found the easiest and very effective. So do respiration, deep respiration, and then settle your mind, relax your mind, and allow cleansing, allow changes to occur. Things will bubble up, and you just release them. Don't focus on them. Just acknowledge them, but don't dwell on them. We have to get rid of all these negative energies that we have accumulated, not only in this life, but past lives. We are, for quite a long time, trapped in this reality for a particular reason, and this reason is knowledge. And now as we come out of it, we will not come out of it just to go a step forward. We will come out of it with indefinite potential as a pure spirit. Because such is the knowledge that we have gathered through these experiences. It is very important to understand that what you think, what you focus on, is most likely going to be manifested. Most likely before, but now manifestation is easier and easier and faster because the veil that is separating us, mind from our innate, is disappearing. So it is easier and easier and faster to manifest what we think about. This is why try to not to focus on what happened yesterday. Focus on the now and what you can do now that will change tomorrow. To strengthen the body, again, as Wim Hof says, put your body into shock. Well, you don't have to jump in icy water. Taking cold shower is good enough to give body some jolt. And then respirations as well. And most important is do things differently and try to stay conscious, focused during the day. This is going to help you to react differently, or even if you react the way as you used to, you will catch yourself. Wow, I should not have done it. I should not have said it. And more times you catch yourself, the less frequently you will be doing things in that way. You will start to pay attention to these things and not to repeat the mistakes. Don't hold grudges. It doesn't serve anybody and doesn't serve you the least. I have friends here who think of themselves as very connected, very spiritual, and they don't want to talk to certain people because they have harmed them in the past, even family. Well, obviously, those people are not very connected. They are very lost. Also, there are many people who are pretending, who maybe even unknowingly, who are very set in their ways. I see this very often with vegans. Oh, you are evil because you eat animal. And they think of themselves so righteous and they are in tra-la-la land. Well, this doesn't serve anybody, not even them. We are here to help each other and to share. Through sharing, you are helping. Not to close ourselves and separate ourselves from the others. I would never attack vegetarian or vegan and complaining for food that they eat. But I will point, if asked, why this is not healthy, what they are doing. Very often some people say, well, I have heard, I'm connected, and it came to me that I have to leave all the meat now, I only vegetables, because through vegetables I cleanse and I can go into higher vibration. This is nonsense, and this is just your brain repeating what you are talking to yourself all the time. It's not message that comes from your spirit. The spirit is love. It doesn't care what you do because everything is just frequency as long as you don't harm somebody else. Soon we will not eat at all. And I notice that now eating very little as I do, and I cannot shed the unwanted pounds. Why not? Because through respiration, through changing of my brain's programming, my brain now is manifesting that I really don't need to eat. So even the little bit that I eat once a day, and I'm going to have to go fasting now for a week just to shed down 2 kilos, because I have those 2 kilos which I feel I don't need them. So it is all depending on your brain's programming, how brain understands things as they are. And we have to know that all this physicality, all this protein, your genes, none of it really is working the way we think it is. We are training our brain, giving it information, well, this is like this, and this is why it can be like this. So it makes sense to the brain of this physicality. But the physicality does not really exist, so it's all bogus. And genes are nothing more than blueprints that will be read by the brain of manifestation. These blueprints again respond to frequencies. So it is not that genes will be activated or deactivated. It depends what frequency comes, and it will go into reading the blueprint that corresponds with this frequency. So do not be afraid. There is no cataclysm going on. There is no acceleration of destruction of planet going on. This is mop-up operation. And yes, some people will be still hurt, but more people that will be hurt are now the bad guys and less of the good guys. For all these past years, it was the other way around. It was the good guys that were always tortured and killed by the bad guys, and this is why the bad guys have all this wealth. They are stupid, but they have all the money, and this is why they have all the power, not because they are smart. And finally, the smart people said, it's enough. So try to change, start seeing things differently, so your reality changes. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.